So, the first question for me, why at all should we start with partial dentures with exocad? And we are used to make it in the traditional way, but why should we take now the digital way? And there are a few reasons, and some of them are political, and they are the same all over the world. We have got a special employee situation in every handwork profession, basically, all over the world. These are numbers from Germany, which shows you we have lost in trainee situation more than 40% in our schools. So who should do all the works we have to do by hand in the future? Because it's not becoming less, it's going more. The other way is the economic situation. See, you know exactly how long you take to make a framework like that in the classic way. Taking care of the undercuts, duplicate, make a second model, make the modulation on the design in wax, then cast, and then you have got a lot of work to do till that thing fits on the model. In our way, in my way, which I call print and cast, we are much faster and we have got much finer results than in the classic way. You see here the surfaces. You can control your design or what you printed right on the model before you cast. And you can change everything you have to change. We started to work with that software more than 2 years ago when the first beta version was for free to have. And we also made lectures with that stuff in that time. What I can't understand till today is that a lot of colleagues have not been interested in that software as long as it was without price. They could use it, but they didn't. If you place a Ferrari in front of the door and say to me, Michael, you can drive it as often as you want and as much as you want, you can imagine I will. I will do. They didn't. Especially the young employees love this technique much more than the classic way. You don't get dirty hands, you don't get hot fingers, you just click here, click there, throw here, throw there, and everything is done. What about your customer's request? Sometimes we don't even have got a model because we have done not an impression, not a physical impression. A digital impression, if your customer uses mouse scanners, then you have to print. You have to print a model, and if you print the model, you also can print the framework, basically, and you can try how they fit together before casting or before you go further. Here's another sample. A lot of my customers I have never seen, maybe on congresses or events like that. They send me from 400 kilometers, 500 kilometers, they send me their work. And this is much faster if they only send a data file, STL. I get an email and I can start to work. And I also make designs for Canada, for USA, for Italy, Moscow. And I think I will never see them, but I can handle their work. Much faster, much cheaper. Because the most expensive thing we have got in our laboratories is the time. Here another sample, also a printed model, a printed framework. And if there is something disturbing me, I can grind at the plastic, not at the metal. And if I think there is a clasp is too thin, for example, I put a little bit wax on it and cast it after then. Here the results, or one of the results. This is a very thick frame, yeah. Sometimes you have to learn how it is in the reality is another way than in the screenshot on your desk. And here we have got new materials. I'm also very often working with PEEK. I think I'm the most PEEK worker in the whole world. And you can cast this material, but you shouldn't. There's a very, very important reason why you shouldn't. But this is another lecture. And if you can mill something like that, you have a complete, clean surface, complete, clean structure, no plug, no bubbles. And this is very important, not only for patients with allergies, but also for them. And they become more and more. And we have got a very, very good wearing comfort. Also the aesthetics, if you make clasps like that. But why should we use exocad? There are a lot of softwares in the market. For me, it is very clear. I'm the greatest fan of exocad at all, I think so. And this is what I'm doing every day. And this is something funny, because the freedom you have in your header, yeah, and this is one thing, this is for me very important. Technicians need freedom. Often I don't know what my dentist will send to me, and it's not often that what I want to have. And so I have to find ways how to solve their problems, or the problems they produced, to get the patient happy and get the dentist happy, because otherwise I don't have dentists anymore. And the second thing is I can connect it to my exocad, and if you are not exocad users, you shouldn't be here, or or you can let it run as a standalone version. This is very important too. A lot of colleagues already have got software for crowns, for bridges, for this and that, and they are not in the economic situation that they can buy every half year a new software. This is not possible. And so they can choose to take this software and let it run beside the other one. And now let's have a look at the workflow. The workflow is like in the normal CAD software, based on a wizard. And as I explained the wizard in my lectures, my vision of the wizard is like in The Wizard of Oz. You are coming to a way in a complete unknown land. And then you go your way, nothing will happen to you on the way. You will find a booth now and then. Every 100 meters there is something to do. You find something to eat, to drink, for me very important, something to smoke. And if you follow that way, you will come to your target. You come to your result you want to have. And in the first step, you make the inserting direction, take care of the undercuts, choose the draft angle, and click on Next. That's it. Very easy, very simple. After that, you take care of the blockout sections. With smudge or smooth, depends if you want to have a real hard effect or very smooth effect. Then you decide where you want to have your undercuts. Depends on the different materials. And you click on Next. Then you draw the curves. You draw the curves for the connectors, for the retentions, maybe for a stop. You can make skeletonized plates with holes, and you click on Next. Then you choose the settings. Which thickness of plate with thickness of blockout wax do you want to have? How thick should your retentions be? Do you want to have a coarse or flat plate? And you click on Next. This is what you get after that, after Apply. And if you have done that fine, in a fine way, you get a fine result. Then we draw our clasps. We choose where they have to be in the undercuts. And then we select on which tools should which clasp be applied. Looks very easy? It is very easy. After Apply, we click Next. You see, we have the complete wizard as we are used to have. Then we design our occlusal rests, the minor connectors, and again we click Next. We draw the finish lines, and also we click Next. Then we have different settings for our thicknesses, for our taper ends, this and that. You can also choose your own designs. You can make your own clasps in the software, so you have them every time in your library, and also for the finish line. Then we smooth all transitions, complete or reduce, and we click Next. If we want to print our framework, then we have to be aware that the plastics we are printing are not very stable. In that case, we need stabilization bars. And you can see the lines over here. You choose where you want to have stabilization bars, make your lines, and click Next. Then you select the diameters. Which one do you want to have for that frame? And click Next again. Oh, it's the same? I think so. And then you click Save for Build. This is the normal way. This is what the wizard allows in the normal way. You are ready and done, and make the next framework. Is it that? No. As in crowns and bridges, that is not all. The reality is between the wizard and the expert mode. So we can delete the constructed parts again without losing anything. And then we want to have it a little bit finer. We want to have a very, very fine result coming out of our printer, so we don't have to work a lot at this frame with our hands. We stay in the wizard and get through, or we choose to the expert mode. Of course, we have to train that. There are so many tools in that tool case that we have to learn how to handle them. But this is something, when we can earn money with it, then we should learn that. We become much finer results in that case. We should aware handwork. We hide the model. We can watch our framework from the lower side. We can refine our design. All the transitions here we can make smoother. Or if we see the undercuts are too big, we correct them from inside the clasp. And in the classic technique, not possible. We apply retention pins if we want, exactly under the teeth. We can personalize our frameworks. And if you laugh now, think about how many old people are living in hospitals. And they are not able to handle their teeth, the cleaning of their prosthesis by their own. And in Germany, it is a really big problem, the economic situation in the hospitals. So they don't have employees. And then we can combine the CAD and the PartialCAD to make structures like that in one piece. When I started to run with that software and with the printer to do my frameworks, I was very afraid what my customers would say, especially the older ones. In the framework technique, my employee was 60, 62. And I was very sure he never wanted to be the one who was sitting at the computer and doing it by himself in the design way. And it was so. But he was very happy with the printed results. He wanted to have only this results again. He was making normal classic frameworks since 30 years, 40 years. And he said he has never had such fine results like in that technique. And so you can combine. We have got young people who are used to play with their computers to get to results, points, coins, championships, whatever. They are not educated or with 40 years of professionality to make frameworks with 8, 9, 10 clasps. But in that moment, they are able to. And the one who is good educated, this one will control after that. Is it thick enough there? Is it too thin there? Do we have got problems and need other undercuts or clasps? And they can correct. Please make a little bit more there and a little bit less there. And the one who is scanning has not to be a technician at all. This can be everybody. Everybody can scan. So I think we have to make frameworks sexy again. We have to make the complete dental technique sexy again to get the young people as employees for our laboratories. There are much too less which are starting our very, very nice profession. I am in my laboratory doing with this technique since round about 1.5 years, every single framework. We are not doing a single framework by hand. A few weeks ago, we have had problems with our printers. I don't tell you which one. And we designed and sent the STL to a colleague. His printer was working. And he sent the printed files again, so the printed frameworks. We cast, and we were happy. So also sharing your work with your colleagues, if it is needed, is very easy if you use this way. Maybe he has got half an hour of time, and you can ask him, do you want to make a design for me? This is working in crowns and bridges, and this is working also in the frameworks. Makes no difference if you have got attachments, if you have got bars, if you have got telescopes, German crowns, or only the tertiary structure over your galvano caps. So I want to say thank you for this software, because it is a very, very big deal. And since the last update, we have got a very strong smoothing tool. And I need the smoothing tool. I'm a classic dental technician. If you count up, I'm 53 years old, and I like to make frameworks again. So, if there are any questions, please watch at Dental Legend or call me. My number is official I'm posting on Facebook every day, twice or more. And yeah, I don't want to bore you. I hope you like that. And if you have got questions, we have got time enough for questions. Thank you for your interest.